I read a book last night, and when I woke up this morning, I felt much better. I made so many mistakes yesterday, but I wouldn't be repeating those mistakes today. And do you know why? It's because I learned a lot from what I read yesterday. This is one of the reasons you have to show much interest in reading, because reading will always make you a better person. You make mistakes, you correct those mistakes, and you learn quite a lot when you open the pages of a book to educate yourself. You are welcome to Book Affairs, your TV book program, where we talk about no other thing but books. Yomi Ogunye is my name. As usual, we have a book that we are going to talk about, and of course, the writer of that book is here. The title of the book we are going to review today is The Pains of a Single Mother, written by Rhoda Aladenusi. Once again, The Pains of a Single Mother by Rhoda Aladenusi. Of course, she will be my guest on this show. Once again, I welcome you. And Miss Aladenusi, you are welcome to the program.
Thank you, sir.
I told those watching you that you are a writer. You have just written a book, the title of which is The Pains of a Single Mother. But before we go into all of that, I want your audience to meet you. Who is Rhoda Aladenusi?
I am a student of Bola International Group of School. I'm just graduated. I love reading and writing because those are my favorite hobbies. And also, I am a girl with this dream to make an impact in my community, and to let people know the right things from the wrong, and also to correct the wrongs of the society.
Thank you very much for that. I really appreciate that. That's a key point there. You want to make an impact in your society. We will talk about that later. You have written this book,
Yes.
The Pains of a Single Mother. So let's start from the title. Why, of all things in this world, did you choose this, The Pains of a Single Mother, as the title of your book?
Actually, when I started writing the book, I didn't have a title. But the first chapter, after I wrote the first chapter, and the second one, the third one, and everything kept coming, I was like, no other title could fit it more than The Pains of a Single Mother, because that was all I wanted to depict in the book. That was all I wanted people to see in the book. So there was no other title that came to mind than The Pain of a Single Mother. So that was how I came about the title.
Thank you very much. In other words, from seeing the title, you get to know, or at least have a glimpse of what the book contains. But you know better. So I want you to tell us what is in the book.
And the book is fiction. Actually, it's a story about a woman. She just graduated, then she met the love of her life. She got married, then she had kids. At the beginning, everything was rosy and good, but it got to a point in the family. They had family problems. And from there, everything kept degenerating because they didn't really take it to it. So it got to a point that the man had to leave the house for her, taking one of their children and leaving her with 5 children. So that was the beginning of the book. And that was what led to all the experiences, all the experiences and all the good and the bad things she went through in the book. And also, at the end of everything, it was actually worth it because it paid off her pains and all. Because her children were, they were great people, and also she was really satisfied over her children that yes, I trained them well.
I really appreciate your candor. Thank you very much for that robust introduction of your book. Now, what's the name of that lady or woman you talk about in the book?
Miss Maria Daniels.
Miss Daniels.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. So we'll be talking about The Pains of a Single Mother, Miss Daniels. Now, while writing this book, you encountered quite a lot of challenges. What were these challenges? What problems did you have in writing this book?
I had three major challenges. The first challenge was some discouragement. Because it got to a point in the book, I got discouraged that let me just drop it and let me forget about it. Because even when I tell people that I'm writing a book, they just shut up like it's nothing special. And I got to almost my lowest because I wanted to just drop it and just forget about writing it. But later I was encouraged and later I got to write it. And the second challenge I had is that I never really had a deep knowledge of most of the things because some of the things there divorce. I did not know the procedures of divorce. I never know what they will go through, maybe the court trials and all. So I had very limited knowledge about it. So I had to do research and get it. And also another thing I had little knowledge about there was these mental health sicknesses because one of the kids there she had a mental health disease and I did not really know much about it, so I just wrote it like according to my little knowledge, and it was not really comprehensive, so I had to do more research about it. And the last but not the least challenge I had was the price of publishing books in Nigeria because it's getting really high day by day. So it took a really long time before this book came out, about a year, because the price keep going up and they asked us for money.
Well, that's very nice. I really appreciate all that you have told us. You passed through quite a lot of challenges and you were able to surmount those challenges. How you surmounted these challenges, you will tell us much later. By the way, what's the size of the book? How many pages, how many chapters do we have here?
It has 236 pages with 22 chapters.
All right. You should tell us, having written this book, you certainly had a reason for writing it. What impact do you want it to have on the reader?
The main impact I want this book to have on the readers is to open their eyes to what mothers go through, because most of them, they just merely see them, they just see them as, some of them just see them that maybe they don't go through a lot, but I want to open their eyes to it that they go through a lot, and also to enlighten them on what they go through. And also at the end, I want them, the readers, the general public, to be able to embrace them, not to stigmatize them, to be able to help them in whichever way they can. That was the main reason for writing this book. And I also wanted to make people know that you can do anything you wish, because when I started this book, I never really knew I could even write it. I just started anyhow. So I want people to know that anything you wish to do, you can do it, despite the challenges and the obstacles on the way.
And viewer, you are still watching Book Affairs, your TV book program where we talk about no other thing but books. My guest, Rhoda Aladenusi, the writer of The Pains of a Single Mother, is still on set. She's been telling us quite a lot about her books. She encountered quite a lot of challenges in writing the book. She surmounted them. How she surmounted these challenges, you will not get to know until you see this program till the end. We will be back after this time out. Don't go away.
There's a shadow in reach for the sun. When there is love for the one, and for the promises, there is the sky, and for the heavens, all those who can fly. If you really want to, you can hear me say, only if you want to, you find the way. If you really want to, you can seize the day. Only if you want to, you fly When there's a journey, we'll follow the sun. When there's an ocean, we'll sail on the
Welcome back. You are still watching Book Affairs, your TV book program. My guest, Rhoda Aladenusi, is still very much around Remember, she wrote The Pains of a Single Mother. She has quite a lot of message for single mothers. And once again, Rhoda, I welcome you to the program.
Thank you.
Earlier, you told us how you started to write this book. You told us about the impact you want the book to engender on the public. I will now want you to tell us. Certainly, some people have read your book. What has been their reaction to the book? What did they say? What did they learn from it?
Their reaction at first, most of them were impressed because that was what motivated them to buy the book. Of course, they were impressed that I could write about mothers even at the young age. Then after going through the book, their reaction, they actually saw it as something good, something worthwhile, because it really highlights what mothers go through. And people's reaction has been good all the way. I've not really seen some criticism. Nobody has really criticized it. It has been good reactions.
Thank you very much. It has been good reaction from the public. We do something on this program. You have written a book. You want us to know more about your book. You have to read a little portion of it to us. That is the tradition in this house. And with you, we are not going to deviate from that tradition. So read a little portion of the book to us.
I read from the last page of the book, that is page 236. The last paragraph there. We walked hand in hand to the car where the kids were discussing and playing and told Johnny about the new developments. His face lit up with the widest smile and he whispered, "I love you, Daddy." Thank God I brought back a broken relationship. I drove back home with my complete 6 children to pack to our new house. Today is my most memorable day ever. Truly, a mother's greatest asset is her children.
That's quite deep. You wrote the last line there. Truly, a mother's greatest asset is her children. If I may ask you, what did you want to make out of all of that? The language is simple enough, but for the purpose of clarity, I want you to give us further explanation on that. What point do you want to make out of that?
The point I want to make out is that to tell all mothers that their children should be their priority, because whatever they have it lasts just for a while and it may fade away. But when they take care of their kids, when they put their priority on their kids, the kids grow up, they become great people in life, and also they influence the society. So our legacy, our efforts over them won't be in vain. So the greatest asset a mother could ever have, she could have a house, she could have cars, she could have everything, but our greatest asset is her children.
Thank you very much. Her greatest asset is her children. Now, you told us you have left school. Certainly, you have an ambition. What do you want to become in life? What are your dreams?
I want to become a medical doctor, actually. I also want to balance it with writing. I want to be an activist and a motivational speaker. And I want to impact the world in my own little way.
You want to be an activist. That's a very big one. You also said earlier that you want to have an impact on your community. What did you have in mind here? What do you want to say or do?
I want to advocate gender equality. I also want to advocate against child abuse, because it's something that is getting really rampant now in our societies. Children are being abused on a daily basis in many different ways, even emotional abuse. So I want to advocate for the right of the child and for the right of women in our society, because they also deserve a place in the society.
Thank you very much. Now, I want you to tell us how you were able to surmount the challenges you passed through. You've told us about them. You had some problems. So how are you able to overcome these problems while writing the book?
About the problem of having little knowledge about some of the things there, I did research. I went to research, and from there I was able to know some of what I wrote about. So through the research and all, I was able to get it. And also another way was to I read books of other great authors when I was discouraged, because those books actually helped me. Books about this positive thinking and all. So that was the main way I surmounted that particular challenge. And also about the prices of books and all. My parents actually helped me in that, because they still encouraged me that I should keep on writing it, that whichever way they would help me get it published. And through that, I was able to publish it. So I was able to surmount all the challenges to bring it out.
Thank you very much. You have said quite a lot about single mothers. Is it only single mothers that you have focused on? Remember, you told us that you also want to be an advocate. So what other issues were raised in your book?
Other issues raised in the book were what teenagers go through, because the woman, her second child, her first daughter, she also went through a lot of things. And also, I also want to talk about the relationship between parents and children. Most children, they see their parents as maybe gods that they can't go near, because some of them, parents have instilled this fear in their kids that you have to obey whatever I say, even without asking why. So I also want to open our eyes to it that good relationship with our children matters, because we don't even know half of what they go to. And also, we should respect their dreams, we should respect their careers, we should even respect their talents, because most careers were crushed, most talents were destroyed because of their parents. The parents will be like, I don't want my child to do this, and that would be the main wish of the child. So to that, their hopes were crushed. So I want to advise our parents too, that you should get closer to your children. You should know what they love to do, their wishes, their aspirations, and in every way we can help them, we should try to help them, because so that they are going to really, that will prepare them to be what they want to be, and at the end, we as parents will be proud of them.
Thank you very much for that. As we come to a close on this program, I would want you to give some advice to the public.
My advice to the public is that we should treat everyone as humans, because we are all equal before God. We should treat everyone like they are human. We should not discriminate against anyone, and we should not judge anyone merely by seeing them, because you don't know what they go through, you don't know what they pass through, you don't know what they've been through. So we shouldn't judge people by just looking at them. And also, we should treat everyone the way we want ourselves to be treated. And also, I want to tell the public that you should start something. Anything you find interest in doing, anything you find a particular hobby in doing, just start it. Whichever way is going to continue to generate it to something big.
Now, earlier you talked about the writers whose books you read. If I may ask you, who is your favorite writer and why?
My favorite writer is Bushi Emesheta, even though she's late. And the reason why I love her books is that it highlights most of what women go through. For example, the joys of motherhood. It really showed everything, like in details, of what women go through and our struggles over our children and all. And also, I also like John C. Maxwell, because his books mainly are about leadership and all. So tells us that we can be leaders wherever we go. So the book has actually been an encouragement to me, because the book is something I really love reading, because it encourages me and it tells me I can be who I want to.
That's quite robust. I really like your presentation, and I like those two writers that you have mentioned. Now, since you have focused on women and using the single mother as a case study, what advice would you like to give to single mothers?
My main advice to single mothers out there is that being a single mother is not a death sentence, because you can actually go through it, you can be an overcomer, you can be victorious. And you should know that at the end of it, it's actually worth it. The pain, the shame, everything, it is worth it, because when you see your children out there doing things, breaking grounds, going places, you yourself, you have this kind of satisfaction that yes, even though the father was not there, my labor over them was not in vain.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate your candor. You advise single mothers to be brave and bold and to give so much commitment to their children. Thank you very much, Rhoda, for coming here today. We'll bring you here again some other time after you might have written your second book.
Okay, so
Thank you very much for coming. And viewer, thank you very much for watching us. For some time you have been watching and listening to Rhoda Aladenusi, the writer of The Pains of a Single Mother, who has been telling us quite a lot about her book. She made the single mother the focus of her writing, and she promises to write another book very soon. In all, she enjoins women to be very bold and strong so that they will be able to groom very good children that will become very responsible and possibly the leaders of tomorrow. This is how far we can go on today's episode of Book Affairs, your TV book program. Today, it's Rhoda's The Pains of a Single Mother. Some other time, it could be the turn of your book. Continue to watch us. Yomi Ogunye is my name. Thank you very much for watching us, and goodbye.
When there's a shadow, you reach for the sun. When there is love in you, for the one, and for the promises, there is the sky, and for the heavens, all those who can fly. If you really want to, you can hear me say, only if you want to, you find the way. If you really want to, you can seize the day. Only if you want to, you fly away. When there's a journey